welcome back to Transit Tech Sports News. I'm here with Coach Hafford, our varsity basketball coach. Now, Coach, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Just want to talk to you a little bit about your season. So far, if we can evaluate, you're 13-0. 13-0 this year already. How would you evaluate your season so far?
Well, yes, 13-0. We're 13 games into the season. We've had a few tough games along the way. We still got a lot of improving to do, and I try to, keep our players level-headed and going into these games, not to, always think, well, we're undefeated and it's an automatic win. So I try to find a way to challenge them every game, pretty much make ourselves the opponent, try to better themselves any way they can going into that game. So every game we kind of talk to a kid and, have them each set individual goals to kind of keep them on point.
Oh, could you maybe give me an example of what some of those goals might look like?
For example, turnovers is always our big issue. We always set the bar at, say, 12. So we don't want any more than 12 turnovers. So let's try to minimize some of those risky passes we would take. Also, I use rebounding as one of our goals because, as you know, you've been around a lot of our games, and that seems to be an area that we need to really improve on. So it's not just for our bigs, but everyone across the board has to put more effort into rebounding the ball.
Definitely. And just to go back to your point of turnovers, when you notice that you have 12 or less turnovers, do you notice a difference in the...
Yeah, I mean, if you can look at any of our stats in our games, if I show you a game where we had 12 or less, it's a significant win. If we have a game where we have 15-ish right in there, it's usually a tight game. And if we have a game where 20 plus, it's like, okay, did we get out of that game with a win? Or it's a good chance we could have lost that game.
Gotcha, you understand that completely. And speaking of your record and your games, you have a game today and you're playing against Paul Robeson High School.
Yep. And
you played them earlier this season already and you beat them 70-64.
Yeah.
And can you just talk to us about that game, how that game
went?
They're
real tough opponents. I knew it would be tough going into that gym, playing in that atmosphere. They got some really tough guards, tough to, stay in front of. So we did have to change our approach a little bit in that game as far as what defense we played. Because we love to play man-to-man defense. And we had to make those adjustments in that particular game, and we kind of resorted to a zone. To keep us in it.
And do you think that will be the game plan going forward today?
We gotta remember, Transit Tech's a whole different place to play, so they got to come to our house today. So the energy be a little bit different here. Yes. Without giving away game plans and things, but we mix it up a little bit more this year than last year. Okay. We do throw some zones out there. Last year we were predominantly a man-to-man team, but this year we do use some zones, and it could be effective against them because they do have a couple decent perimeter shooters as well.
Awesome. And speaking of last year's team, do you think you gained or lost anything between this year and last year's team?
That's yet to be seen. Last year's team, they were 18-0, tremendous team, fun to coach. This year, it's a fun team to coach. They're tough kids that always give you a lot of effort every time they're on the floor. I'd say the difference last year and this year, last year's team, you got to remember, those kids were together for 2 straight seasons without losing a senior. Because we had that brief pandemic COVID season where 6 games, and we didn't have one senior. So we were playing April, May, June with those 15 boys all summer, and then the next season started. So that chemistry was already established, going into last year. Where this year we're still working on that chemistry. Not that it's bad chemistry, but it's still a work in progress.
Definitely, thank you. And what are you expecting out of today's game? And is there any one player that you're expecting to have a breakout game based on their performance in practice?
This team it's kind of fun. It's hard to predict with this team. It really is, because we got 5 guys averaging double digits. On any given game, one of those kids could have 25 points, and one of them could have 4 points. So you don't know. They're there for each other. Whoever's on, we're going to get them the ball, and everyone accepts their role for that day.
That's awesome and important. Everyone accepting their role to make the team better. Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck today. We're sure that you are going to put your best foot forward in beating Paul Robeson this afternoon, and we definitely look forward to checking in with you.
Great. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
All right.